past. Most of it were gifts from family members or from my wife over the years, and I don't know too much about them. So if you're watching this as a perfume or a fragrance enthusiast, then it might be disappointing. So I will, without further ado, get into the cheapest and move over to the most expensive after quite nice, and I could get away with wearing this as a man. It wouldn't be obviously feminine. Generally I like Bananigans because they have very many unisex scents. More on that later. The next cheapest ones, this was from some gift set on that I got in like a Christmas stocking. Ocean Musk. This is from M&S. Made in Turkey. Oceanic Neroli Musk Eau de Toilette. It does smell really nice, but I would say it's a bit strong. So like when you put it on, you kind of feel like you're carrying like gin on your neck or something, or like straight alcohol. It does mellow when it mellows out. It's quite nice, and it even had some compliments given that it's an extremely cheap fragrance. The next scent is actually quite sentimental, even though it's also a rather cheap fragrance. And I'll start with this bottle, which is literally nearly finished. This was what I was wearing when I first met my wife, like almost 10 years ago. And this is Hollister. I think it was called Jake or something like that. And it's just a very, very summery kind of cheap teenager smell, I guess. I don't know if I'm not doing it any justice with that description, but it's just a summery kind of young person smell, I would say. Yeah, it's a really nice fresh smell, to be fair. And I tried to find it again, and they don't do it in these bottles anymore, but they did basically the same thing in this bottle, which is, I guess, looks a little bit more modern, but it's the same smell, I believe. Let me just double check, because I literally don't remember. I don't have any reason to wear much fragrance because I work from home. You know, I might be talking total rubbish because they smell different, but let's just focus on the sounds because there's nothing else to focus on. There's no sound from this one because there's so little fragrance actually left on this that I'm not gonna actually. Well, I guess we can try some of this. The cap always sounds good. So that's that one. Actually, I should probably put all the ones that I've spoken about away so I don't get confused and then knock something over and make a ton of sound that I have to then edit out later on. We've done this one too. Did we open the cap? Yes, we did, because I remember smelling it. Next up. I already spoke about this tiny one, so let me just put it away before. Let's use the little rope. Little rope on the bottle. And, okay, we've talked about this one too. Hollister. One of them is called Jake. That's all I can tell you about that. One of them is called Jake. Next one. Again, we're gonna carry on in the cheapest to most expensive. So the next one would be this Bull and Bear potion Eau de Toilette. It's got a ton of ton of helpful information, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell you any of this. But it has notes of lemon, bergamot, mandarin orange, lavender, tarragon, cardamom, geranium, I guess, cedarwood, tobacco, musk, and sandalwood. And without that little helpful note, they, when they were designing this smell, the perfumist was like, "What scent do you want from this?" And they said, "Yes." That's why there's like a million notes. This room's gonna smell intense. It's got like I would say that the main notes from this is definitely woody and nicer fragrances, I'll just spray this on. It usually does the job, and it maybe looks like I've put a bit of effort in or something. I've talked about this one too. Let's leave this one out. Next up would be this CK1, I believe. Oh, CK1. Oh, CK2 in you, him, whatever. I really like the bottle. It's very clean design, and the cap comes off really nice and easy, but not so easy that it would fall off, you know. The smell smells really good, conventionally good. I think most people would find this smell agreeable at the very least, but I don't think it would get like that many compliments. And in general, I don't think I've had compliments on this smell. I have on others, but not this one. Again, I don't know if I used, maybe I think I've used about half of it. Please tell me I'm recording. Yes, I am. Sometimes I talk to myself for 10 minutes and then check, and then it wasn't recording. That's always fun. The next two, I believe I got them at the same Christmas. I had two different aunts that got me a fragrance, and this one is definitely has like a man. I think this one is just called Hugo Boss Red. It's an eau de toilette, and it has like this manly kind of. Let me check again. I would say like citrusy or something. I'm probably getting it all wrong. Like, I mean, if I looked at a quick link about this one, I'll try to find like what the notes are supposedly going to be or should be. Blah 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 blah. Heart notes are sensual rhubarb, sweet pineapple, and heartwarming cedar. Top notes are captivating galbanum, refreshing grapefruit. Hey, I said citrus, right? Contrasting pink pepper, and charismatic metallic notes. So yeah, I would say like a fresh, manly smell, that's for sure. And this Lacoste. I think there was. Oh my gosh, it's so dusty. That's embarrassing. I haven't used it in a long time. Like I said, I used my fragrances very, very infrequently. All I can say about this smell is that it's also quite fresh and summery. Why didn't you prepare for this video and research the fragrances you have? Why didn't you? Well, I just didn't. So got this like magnetic cap, which is not the best for ASMR because it's gonna snapshot and make a lot of noise, but this is definitely the one that gets the most compliments. It's got such a nice smell. It's very citrusy, very fresh, and that's as far as my description will go with this. It's just a very, very good and popular. It's a popular smell, and I guess it loses some points on not being unique because everybody, pretty much most people in the fragrance world will know, or even non-fragrance people will know about this, and they will probably be a fan, if I'm honest. Definitely the most used. Now, the last one that I said I had thoughts on was the Lord George from Penhaligons. It's in the portrait series, and it looks expensive with the metal kind of antlers on top. It smells expensive, much like I would say spicy and sweet, and woody at the same time. And the problem is that it smells expensive, and it is very expensive, in my opinion, at least. As far I know, there are fragrances that go for like crazy money, much like any hobby. When you dig into it, it's going to be really expensive, but this one is the most expensive one that I own, which is, I think it was like £260 or something like that. Definitely too much for what it is. And my problem with it isn't the smell, and isn't even so much the price, as it is in the fact that when you pay this much money, you kind of want it to last